Hi. So this is a well overdue devlog. The previous one that I had was probably more than a month ago. And I'm sorry about that. I've actually been pretty busy with a lot of stuff, work and life and all that jazz. And I've actually kind of been pretty much writing up. I'll show you here. I have uh, two notebooks full of notes on my game. And so the biggest thing that I've been working on is trying to come up with a way to make the world a lot more enjoyable. Right now, you'll see that it's limited to a 100 by 100 square. I've kind of cut down on tree generation because that was one of the issues I was having was with the bigger the map, there was too many trees. And really, the trees didn't look very realistic when every single point that was set to be a tree point was generating a tree. So I kind of split it up and made it where it had a percent chance to be a tree based on a pseudo random number, based on your seed. So when your seed's the same, the trees will spawn in the same place every time, kind of thing. So along with that, I've added in resources, this new building mechanic, which I've got working fairly well now. You can draw lines, you can draw boxes, and they all interconnect perfectly with no lag, which I was having the big issue with before. So that's all working great. Let me see there. Cool. Anyway, so I got that taken care of. I've added a day and night system with months, our days, months, and days, years, and months. Oh my gosh, days, months, years. But we're in the first year of the day is the Miria, and the first of EFOB, which I, in all honesty, just used a random name generator. We're not very creative here. We're programmers, so I'm doing my best. Anyway, so I got that in there. I grabbed some of these UI assets off itch.io, but I'm going to end up remaking these using my own graphics. I just needed something in there temporarily for a visual. Got the day and night implemented, the color and sky, I guess biome or light change based on the time of day, which is a big bonus. But like I said, the big thing we're getting to is that the map is not infinite. It is finite, and we don't want that. So let me go ahead and close that, and let me show you the other thing that I've been working on. Let's see, this project here. So this is my project. Let me close up the stats because I want you to see everything. So this is the project that I'm working on just to create the world generation for my game. I wanted to go through and remake it in a separate project so it wouldn't kind of mingle in, I wouldn't trash up anything, and I wouldn't have to worry about, messing up any of the code I already had. So, and I'm writing this in a way to where I will easily be able to just plug it into my other project and change a couple of lines of code here and there, which is just going to be like referring to whether or not you're in a chunk. So if I play, you'll see that the world generates, and these are actual chunks with actual tiles. So let me see here. Let me get my Streamlabs pulled up. Let me change to, let's see. Let me change to the other screen. All right. So if you look here, I actually have 9 chunks loaded, and each chunk has its own position, as well as if I accordion out one of the chunks here, you'll see it has a grid and a tile map. I'm still not sure if this is the best way to go about it. This is the way I'm doing right now. But essentially, if I was to do it another way, I'd have one tile map and then just redraw the tiles in the area that I needed. But this is good for now. Then if I switch back over here, so the chunks are generating correctly. You'll see I have 9 chunks loaded. Active chunks, I have 9 right now. If I move over, you'll see it generates more chunks. So what it's doing is it's not only, so every time the camera pans over, let me go to see view here. You'll see every time the camera pans over, my camera's right here now. So it's loading all these chunks around it. This size of chunks here is as big as the other world was. So the one map that was running at the perfect FPS and all that jazz, all these chunks equal up to that space. So now when I move around the camera, I'm actually loading the world as it would normally, except there's no lag. I can keep going forever. And you'll see if I keep moving. Actually, I can just hold down. That is not fast enough. Let's go to the camera here and change the camera pan speed. Let's see. Let's pump this up to 60. So if I hold here, you'll see that I just keep loading more and more and more and more chunks. Let me go ahead and make this 50. I might break the game, but we'll see. Anyway, so we're loading chunks really fast. And the best part about this is we can keep going forever. There's no repeating. This is all completely procedural, which is nice. We're using Perlin noise to build all this. And I'm actually going to be using another method later on for building rivers and some other things. So I am going to have different structures and stuff that spawn inside the world. That will be the reason that you start exploring. So as you can see, we keep going, we keep getting chunks, and all these white flowers represent forest, the orange flowers represent ground, and the brown dirt spots represent where the water will be, which these are just going to be little pools of water, lakes, or whatnot. And like I said, eventually I'll have rivers running through. I'm also going to be using peaks of this place. So right now we just have this bit here, but if you see when I let's get to a peak point. So this peak point here, 1.14, I'm actually going to be inverting this whole map. And so this peak point will actually be in this kind of area here. So these zeros will be where we'll be building probably like mountainous areas. And so it's actually just going to be like a rock block. Let me go ahead and pull my camera back down here so I can see. Boop, 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 boop. Did not mean to do that. All right, cool. I love this program. Anyway, so if I pull this back down here. Oh, also, this is the first time you're seeing me, so hi. But what we're going to be working on next is going to end up being the generation of foliage and like trees and stuff, because I want to see how it's going to affect the performance for me to draw entities kind of throughout. And so we'll see how that goes. Right now, everything's running fairly smoothly. Like if I pop open the stats here, you see we're at 3,000 FPS, so it's going very well. And when I change chunks to chunks that have already been loaded, literally we're just the only FPS spike we're getting is when we unload and reload chunks. So I'll probably end up coming up with a better way to do that. Maybe only keeping stuff loaded that needs to be loaded. Because really anything outside the camera area you don't need to load. So I might do the camera and then like a little padding area around it. But we'll see. I'm really going for performance on this and trying to get this loaded well for us. So if I pan back over, we're actually loading more chunks, which we don't want to do. There we go. So definitely don't want to add more chunks. So we're going to go back over to 0, 0, which this will, I wanted to make sure there was a lot of forest, because you're going to need a lot of resources and your little dudes are going to end up mining really fast once you get fully equipped. But you can change these seeds. So if I actually stop playing here, let me swap over to the other screen. Bop. And bop, bop. Okay, so if I open this up here, you'll see that in my world generation, we can actually, I just set it as my name, but if I press enter and we'll leave it blank. So when I generate this time, it's going to generate a random seed. And if I go back into the project here, you'll see that the world has now changed. We can exit again. Play again, another random seed, exit again, play again, another random seed. And it's kind of cool thus far. I'm actually really enjoying all of this procedural stuff. I've learned a lot. So this is the only update for now. I'm going to try to do another one here within the next couple weeks, maybe another week or so. And I'll show you the update on where we're at on this. But as far as implementing it into the other project, it might be another month before an update. And I'm really sorry about that. I'm still getting used to this whole devlog thing. So I appreciate you guys for kind of sticking with me on this. I know that's only a couple of you, but like, thanks a lot. And I hope you will be excited for what's to come. Anyway, thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.